Welcome to Good Living by Design. I'm Lenore Gonzalez. On today's show, we'll talk about how to purchase a sofa and know what you're purchasing is well made and of good quality versus curbside furniture. We'll also go to DC Upholstery, one of our local favorite custom furniture shop, and talk to Daniel Curtis, the owner, about how his furniture is made and the furniture pieces that he's fabricating for our Parade of Homes project in Elizabeth. Then we'll show you how easy it is to change the look of your old tired dining room chair by doing some easy, quick, do-it-yourself reupholstering. All this today on Good Living by Design. I'm here with Janine because you have questions about how to purchase a sofa and how to know whether what you're purchasing is quality and well made. So what are your questions?
Well, really just where do you begin?
So let's start with the back cushions.
Okay.
This has 3 cushions, and normally the sofas come in 3, 2, or just 1.
All right.
And it usually comes as loose cushions or attached. I prefer personally the loose ones.
Okay.
And I know Jen prefers the attached ones because she has 3 boys, so
Okay.
I could understand she doesn't want to fluff and fix it all the time. If you have 3 cushions, people tend to be more comfortable to sit in the middle because there's a cushion assigned to it. If you have 2 cushions, I think they're not comfortable sitting in the middle.
And then what about like arm style?
If you have a more contemporary room, you wanted to introduce a more contemporary looking sofa, and that's they usually have straight arms.
Okay.
And usually the traditional sofas have the rounded arms.
And then what about like the bottom?
Yeah.
Are there options?
Yeah, there's options. This one sort of has a skirt. Normally you'll see skirts when it's traditional. And then some of the sofas have exposed wood. This one doesn't have. If it has exposed wood, then you'll see the legs, and it's usually made of hardwood.
Okay.
And it's finished in different finishes, different colors. And so that dictates the style. So if you have, like exposed wood, it's more contemporary. And if you have a skirt, it's more traditional or country. Let's talk about quality as well. Like if you go to a furniture store, you usually don't see the frame. You're not going to be shown how it's made.
Right.
And so people usually ask us like, well, how would you know whether it's quality made?
Right. How
And
are
I
you
think
gonna
it
know?
depends on the vendor that you use. So if you trust your vendor, then you'll know that they make quality furniture. I think the most important thing to consider is the frame.
Okay.
And this is the wood that they used to frame the sofa and stuff.
Okay, so you'll only know that it's a good frame by asking questions.
Yeah, hopefully you'll get someone who is knowledgeable in the store or who knows the vendor well. But yes, you have to ask questions.
Okay, and what questions should we be asking?
You should ask like, what is the frame made of? Usually it's dry kilned wood.
All right.
If it's not wood, if they just get like a soft pine, then usually that doesn't last.
Okay.
And then also check how it's constructed. How are the joints put together?
Okay.
It should be constructed with mortise and tenon, and it should also be glued and doweled together. So
Okay.
it provides more durability and more stability.
Okay, so just a good quality wood frame
Right.
is going to determine the quality of the sofa.
Right. So you start with the frame, and then you also have to ask about how are the seats made.
Okay.
And the best construction is 8-way hand tied.
Okay.
And that's just like a spring coil of tempered steel where they attached on 8 points. So it really is very sturdy and durable. If you feel this is where, the springs, you'll feel the springs. And so there's 2 types. The good quality vendors would use the 8-way hand tied like I talked to you about, or the sinuous springs, which is the S-shaped spring that you normally would see. This vendor, which is one of my favorites, has 4 different types of cushion, and it starts from a standard cushion to the really very plush one that has down feathers.
Okay.
So if you open this up, you'll see that whatever foam they used is wrapped. So if you open something up and you just have the foam exposed, or you don't even know if they have peanuts or like packing material inside, then don't buy the sofa.
Okay.
Because that's not really good quality.
Okay.
And not all vendors have 4 types of cushions.
But this
They
particular
usually would
one.
have like a firm
Okay.
to the plush.
Okay.
Well, I hope we gave you information so you know what to look for when you're purchasing your sofa. Up next, we're going to DC Upholster.
Dry Cleaning Station. We don't take you to the cleaners, we bring the cleaners to you. We'll pick up your clothes and bring them back, no charge. You won't find a more convenient, customer-friendly, full-service dry cleaner. With an on-site seamstress, Dry Cleaning Station. 3 locations serving the South Metro, between Quebec and Holly, near Stroh Ranch on Parker Road, and on South University Boulevard.
Call now for a July special, 25% off shorts and skirts.
Dry Cleaning Station. Call 303-741-0507 today. Interact with Good Living by Design on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Find the links at goodlivingbydesign.com. Dry Cleaning Station. We don't take you to the cleaners, we bring the cleaners to you. We'll pick up your clothes and bring them back, no charge. You won't find a more convenient, customer-friendly, full-service dry cleaner. With an on-site seamstress, Dry Cleaning Station. 3 locations serving the South Metro, between Quebec and Holly, near Stroh Ranch on Parker Road, and on South University Boulevard.
Call now for a July special, 25% off shorts and skirts.
Dry Cleaning Station. Call 303-741-0507 today. Find videos, information, and expert interior design advice at goodlivingbydesign.com.
Welcome back. We're here at DC Upholstery in Denver, Colorado, and I'm here to talk to Daniel Curtis, the owner. Daniel was kind enough to allow us to come tour his workshop so we can see how custom quality furniture is made. Hey Daniel, well thank you so much for inviting us here. I know you're not open to the public, but it's so nice that you're allowing us to shoot in your workshop. Before we go do our tour, tell us a little bit about your business and how you got started.
We're furniture builders and upholsterers first. We're not such a salesman and marketers, so we just wanted to do what we do. So we kind of put a business plan together to really work for the trade and do multi-function stuff for them. Kind of a one-stop shop.
How long has DC Upholstery been in business?
We've only been really in business for about 5 years now.
Okay.
100% of what we do is really just built from scratch. It literally starts out from the designer bringing a concept to us and showing us what they want, the dimensions they want to fill the room that's required to really suit the client. We have clients that are 6'8" and 300 pounds, and we build that specifically for them and give them the quality that will last. We pride on ourselves here at this shop is we use AutoCAD systems. We measure clients potentially. We have them
measure
set
my height,
your height, your leg size, the depth from the inside of your knee to the small of your back. So when you sit in a chair, our goal is the first thing you think about is maybe taking a nap. You know, and if you don't listen to what your clients want, how they want it to respond to their bodies, their body weight, their lack of weight. I mean, we have clients that, you know, the homeowner weighs 120 pounds. You put a regular cushion in that, it's going to feel like a rock to her. To while another 300-pound football player, it's soft.
Yeah, it's soft for them. All right, Daniel, I see that you have a chair that's being worked on over there. Why don't we go over there and take a look at it?
Absolutely.
This is the chair that I saw when I came in. So tell me a little bit about what he's doing.
Well, what he's doing, we've stripped these down to the raw frame. This set actually was, the client owned one chair that they loved and they wanted a duplicate built.
Oh, wow. So did you build this frame?
That one,
or
no,
is this
the other one we built.
Oh, okay.
So we built one to actually match what they had. And
well, that's good to know. So if you want to have one to match another, you could actually build one that's very similar, the same.
Exactly, and they loved the style that they had. They really didn't want to change it and buy new chairs. So we're saving the one and building a twin. And what Jorge's doing right now is just literally pulling the matches together, making sure the arm is padded right. It's just so much goes into making sure that when you lean in on an arm, you're not feeling wood underneath. That it's a good construction. That, like you can see, he's pulling his pattern match together in the front. So when you present the front of the chair, it all lines up and looks the way it's supposed to.
Matched where it's supposed to go.
That's the difference. When you come to us, a real upholsterer, he's going to make sure that all those details are automatically looked at. It's not about production, it's about the client. All of our foams are usually a latex foam, so they don't break down over time. They don't. If you've ever opened an old cushion and you see that looks like cornmeal coming out of it, it's old foam rubber, and that came out of trees, and you're mowing down forest for them. Each piece that we do here, we look at what it needs to be done, what the client wants out of it. If we're doing something contemporary, we're using a denser, thinner foam. Traditional furniture,
it's more plush.
More plush, more comfortable.
Great. Well, Jorge's doing a good job here. Like he's almost done with one arm.
Yeah.
With the amount of time that we started talking.
Yeah, it goes pretty fast. You know, once you build your foundation upright, you know, it's like building a house. If the foundation's right, the rest goes easy.
I think this chair is going to look really nice when it's done.
Great colors.
Well, thank you for inviting us here. I know you are going to talk to Linda and Jen next about the specific furniture that we're using at the Parade of Homes at Wild Point.
Oh, absolutely.
So I know they're excited to show you and talk to you and see your progress on that. Well, thank you again for inviting me, and you know, it's nice to be able to see your workshop and see how work is done.
You're absolutely welcome.
Thanks, Daniel.
Dry Cleaning Station. We don't take you to the cleaners, we bring the cleaners to you. We'll pick up your clothes and bring them back, no charge. You won't find a more convenient, customer-friendly, full-service dry cleaner. With an on-site seamstress, Dry Cleaning Station. 3 locations serving the South Metro, between Quebec and Holly, near Stroh Ranch on Parker Road, and on South University Boulevard.
Call now for a July special, 25% off shorts and skirts.
Dry Cleaning Station. Call 303-741-0507 today.
I'm lucky. Let me help you with that. I get to do something I love. It has nothing to do with touchdowns or titles. Everybody bring it in. I get to play a part in the life of someone just starting out. How many of you think homework is just as important as teamwork? I help keep kids in school. Good. And that's the name of the game. My name is LaDainian Thomason. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer. Live united.
Dry Cleaning Station. We don't take you to the cleaners, we bring the cleaners to you. We'll pick up your clothes and bring them back, no charge. You won't find a more convenient, customer-friendly, full-service dry cleaner. With an on-site seamstress, Dry Cleaning Station. 3 locations serving the South Metro, between Quebec and Holly, near Stroh Ranch on Parker Road, and on South University Boulevard.
Call now for a July special, 25% off shorts and skirts.
Dry Cleaning Station. Call 303-741-0507 today.
Question from a viewer on Ask Good Living by Design that we wanted to talk about today. And Linda, this viewer emailed us and sent us a couple pictures of their daughter's bedroom that they are putting together. And they currently have a 2.5-year-old and a baby on the way.
And I see that they actually have the names on both walls, and I think that's really cute.
Yeah, I think it's important when kids are sharing a room that they still feel like they have their own space. So I think that's a great idea that they've already kind of started. But I think we can make it look a little more cohesive and by maybe bringing a couple of things together and adding a few elements.
You know, one of the things I'm thinking is maybe adding some blocks of color to the wall.
I think we need to kind of bring these collections together so they're not so spread out in the room, so they kind of belong together and belong to a focal point on each wall.
And you know, I kind of quickly did a little example of what we could possibly do, and this is one idea that, you know, we can do a pattern like that and board it out with just one color. Or the other option over here is maybe even do different sections of it and maybe use 2 colors, and we can even still add like a white trim molding.
I have a couple ideas. In this side of the room we have a crib, and if we bring that all together and make a focal point, then why don't we also look at this dresser that's also serving as the baby changer? Why don't we change out these knobs to something really cute and fun for now? And then they can always replace those knobs back when the girls get older.
And you know, with the drapes, I think we can add some details, maybe even add some length onto it with a different color fabric, and maybe even some details across the top, whether we maybe make it with rings and add rings onto it and hang the drapery from rings, or maybe some cute things that we can hang and dangle on it, like little flowers or something.
Yeah, just kind of address that. And I think this light in the corner here is not really probably ideal. It's not. This looks like it's a halogen light, so it's uplight. So I don't think that's nice and soft. Especially, it looks like probably here's the mom's chair that She'll probably spend a lot of time with the baby, and so I think we need to soften the lighting in that room and probably add some more. Looks like they have an area rug between the two spaces. Why don't we bring something more colorful in the center of that?
That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So if you have your own design dilemmas or questions that you would like to ask us, go to our website at goodlivingbydesign.com and ask the questions there. Hi, we're back here at DC Upholstery, and we're actually in the workshop, and we're going to talk to Daniel about some of the pieces that we're actually having him make for the Parade of Homes. So Jen, can you start with what we're doing in the dining room?
Yes, because we're doing a green design for the Parade of Homes, we wanted to be considerate of keeping the trucks off the road and the freight, etc. So we decided to come to DC Upholstery and have him build some of our pieces. So, Daniel, what we wanted you to do for us is, starting in the dining room, we wanted to have you build out for us 2 banquettes.
Yes.
Similar to this, that is tufted. Is that something that you can do for us?
Oh yeah, we do that quite often because, you know, as you know, with table sizes and dimensions, room sizes, the investment of furniture in the first place, you want it to be right and fit the room and have some longevity.
Well, we decided to use green fabric, so this is completely green, and that's what we'll be placing on those 2 pieces. So what do I need to be considerate of as far as the dimensions of this with our dining room table?
Well, you have to be understanding that every table usually has an apron underneath of it, so you have to have appropriate leg room for a person, especially in a banquet where people tend to, if you have a 3rd person in the middle, that they're going to be sliding down into that spot, and they don't want to get beat up getting to where they're comfortable to eat a meal. And that the back height, the rake of the back, how much it leans back or how much it holds up straight. Those are all things that come into play in having a good quality piece of furniture.
The other thing we have with this dining room table are 2 side chairs at the end. And so we'd like to have those covered in another green fabric that we have here. And it's completely natural product, so that's what we're going to have those 2 chairs made out of.
Well, there's nothing worse than making the investment in furniture and for it to look wonderful but not really be functional and not be comfortable. It's, yeah, you'll regret that from the day it's delivered if you don't have a good piece of furniture.
Okay, and so let's move on to the basement for this parade home, and we have a couple pieces we'd also like to have you work on.
This one is an ottoman that we're actually going to be sliding underneath a console table. So they're going to be 2 ottomans side by side sliding underneath a console table. And we really kind of like the shape of this and the nail head detail on it. Do you have any suggestions on when we're building it of maybe what, you know, is a better option or something that would work?
Well, you want to use an engineered product, which is just going to be lightweight yet really strong, because stools, people use them as step stools. They're just common like that. So if you don't really build it for really long wear, it's a waste of time. And when you're building these, by having it custom made, you're going to be measuring the space underneath your table that you're going to be putting it there, and make it really look nice when they're stored away, not just when they're pulled out and used.
That sounds great.
We're looking at this actual green fabric. It's made completely green, so we're thinking of covering the ottomans in this.
Yeah, and between that, we use all solid wood construction. Everything's doweled together, and then brass nail heads. That piece is going to be completely green and it's going to last forever.
Our next piece we have is kind of unique, and we have a myrtle tabletop coming in, and it's completely green. So we're going to need to have you seal that top in a green manner, as well as create a base for us.
As far as the treatment of the myrtle, we're not going to do a whole lot to it other than get it level, prep it for being a table. We're going to use a waterborne product to get a good long-lasting finish. And the waterborne products over the last few years have accelerated so much that you can get just a tremendous finish that is just decades long worth of quality wear.
In our living room, we wanted to have our I would say our focal piece, which is going to be the rug. It's a gorgeous, pretty rug, but we don't want a coffee table to cover it up. So we thought about having a very simple piece with a metal structure and then a glass top put on it. So we're looking at something like this. Is that something possible too that we could have you build for us?
A lot of this metal fabrication we don't do here on site, but we have people that we network with, like all designers do, that do outstanding work. And the beauty of metal is that 98% of it is all recycled, and it's sustainable. Most of it's always treated with a powder coat finish, so you're getting an outstanding wear. And the glass, well, it's glass. It'll last forever until somebody drops something on it. Then they just recycle it and use it again.
So thank you, Daniel, for your time today. And coming up next, we're going to go back to our showroom and I'm going to show you how to reupholster something yourself.
Dry Cleaning Station. We don't take you to the cleaners, we bring the cleaners to you. We'll pick up your clothes and bring them back, no charge. You won't find a more convenient, customer-friendly, full-service dry cleaner. With an on-site seamstress, Dry Cleaning Station. 3 locations serving the South Metro, between Quebec and Holly, near Stroh Ranch on Parker Road, and on South University Boulevard.
Call now for a July special, 25% off shorts and skirts.
Dry Cleaning Station. Call 303-741-0507 today. Find videos, information, and expert interior design advice at goodlivingbydesign.com.
Coming home can be hard if you're a veteran of Iraq or Afghanistan. You may feel like you're all alone, but you're not alone. At iava.org, your fellow vets are all around you. Join our free online community, get the resources you need, and connect to other vets who know where you're coming from. iava.org. We've got your back.
Dry Cleaning Station. We don't take you to the cleaners, we bring the cleaners to you. We'll pick up your clothes and bring them back, no charge. You won't find a more convenient, customer-friendly, full-service dry cleaner. With an on-site seamstress, Dry Cleaning Station. 3 locations serving the South Metro, between Quebec and Holly, near Stroh Ranch on Parker Road, and on South University Boulevard.
Call now for a July special, 25% off shorts and skirts.
Dry Cleaning Station. Call 303-741-0507 today.
Reupholstering old furniture can bring new life to tired-looking chairs, sofas, and ottomans. So I'm here with Linda today. She's going to reupholster a chair and talk to us about the process as well. Okay, Linda, so what do we have?
Well, we have a simple dining room chair, and one of the things is when you're upholstering, don't get over your head on something. If it really requires a professional, I strongly urge you to use a professional. The other thing is make sure when you're picking fabric, fabric is really important that you know it's called rubs. And you want something that's 15,000 rubs or more for upholstery. If you use something that's less, chances are it's going to wear and tear a lot sooner. Hence what they say rubs, it actually goes through a rub test. So very quickly we're going to unscrew the screws. I've already pre-unscrewed 2 of them to go faster for us. You might want to put those in the drawer because we do not want to lose
the screws.
The screws. I've done that before. Then you have to go out to the hardware store and find another one. So here we have the cushion seat. You can feel that there's a hard bottom here, and there's actually the padding is here. Sometimes you may need to kind of disassemble and add some more padding. This one is actually in very good condition, so we don't need to go ahead and repad it. So you're going to want to size it out, and the best way is to lay your fabric down. We'll get all of our tools out of the way. Here I have one that you can see we don't have that much left, so you can put that one down.
Is this the front or the back?
That is actually the front.
Okay.
So flip it over. Some fabrics are a little bit hard to tell what's front and what's not. So what you're going to do is put it down on your thing, kind of center it. I think this way is the way I originally cut it. And you're going to want to make sure you have about 6 inches to work with. You can go shorter as you get more experience, but you don't want to go too short and then have to go and get some more material. I've already pre-cut, so I already have this. So we're going to flip it over.
Now, are you going to reuse the batting here? Or
I'm not going to reuse that. I actually use this fabric back here, and I made my own backing. I used the solid. You can pretty much use any type of fabric. This one's kind of a solid, and it's a linen. You want to make sure that your thing is centered. So especially if you have a print, this one is a little bit, the print is forgiving, so I don't think we're going to have to worry about too much. But if you're doing something with a plaid and stripes, you need to make sure that you have this sitting correctly as you're pulling it. You might want to staple, flip it over, and check, and that's why I have that other flathead screwdriver, because you may have to readjust. I always like to do, it's called clock pull. You want to take your 12 and 6, it's called clock because you're using the numbers on a clock, and pull tightly and staple. So we need to get our staple gun out.
Okay.
Be careful with staple guns too. They are a tool. You can hurt yourself. Not that I haven't yet, but let's try
If you
not
have
to do that.
safety glasses at home, you should wear them as well.
So you want to pull tightly. That is the biggest thing with upholstering. You want to make sure it's tight. So you're going to pull tight. And I like to staple up towards the rim here. So you can see here where they've already stapled, that's where you want to be. So you want to pull.
Yay.
One in. So then we're going to do the 6. So that was 12. And this is the 6. You're going to pull really tight. Once again. So we did 2. Now I like to do what's the 9 and 3 and get those pulled. So we'll leave the ends open. You're going to want to pull. Make sure you get it tight.
I was going to say, how tight do you think you're pulling?
Very
as tight as you can.
I always like to pull as tight as you can.
Okay.
Especially because when you're stapling, it does loosen up a
moves.
little bit. It moves.
And I think, you know, with fabric, you have to, especially with this type of fabric, it does move because it's slippery.
So we can kind of flip over and you can kind of
Wow,
see
how
how it's coming together. Now the biggest challenge with reupholstering is obviously the corners, and you kind of want to slowly work the corners. You're going to actually like pull and fold them in and do it in little pieces. So you pull one corner, you're just going to play and kind of work the fabric slowly in so that you kind of don't get too much bulking, and I would say it kind of gets pulls, and you can see how if it's not done correctly.
Like wrinkles.
A lot of wrinkles.
I love staple guns.
I do too.
They're not as big as the ones when you're building a house.
And you can kind of see how I'm having to overlap the fabric a little bit and kind of pleat it as you work through the corner.
Okay.
And it is kind of a slow process. You don't want to rush it too much. You can see here I'm kind of putting extra ones in. So we've gotten one corner done.
So let's check and see.
You can see how we unwrinkled it.
Yeah.
And so you just keep working your way around. And once you've kind of gotten all the way around, then you could reattach it. One of the other things, we flip it over, if we just kind of fold things in, I like to, just so people can see the kind of a finished product, I have it snuck here in the drawer, pre-cut. Again, I kind of jumped ahead, so I pre-cut this. After you pre-cut this, you'd want to have this one pre-cut.
Okay, this is not the shape.
Nope.
There you go.
There it is. And then you can staple this on, and that way it finishes it off, and you don't see all that material under there after you trimmed the material. So there you have a newly upholstered chair.
So now that you know how easy it is, grab the tools that you need and try to reupholster a chair in your home. A professional in the business once said, reupholstering is not about expertise, it's about patience and detail. I hope you enjoyed our show today. My name is Lenore Gonzalez. Thank you for watching Good Living by Design.
Hi. If you have questions, you can write to us at so go to goodliving.com and us.
Goodlivingbydesign.com.
3,000 double roll.
I thought 15.
15,000 or more, but this one's 3,000, so you're way over. So this is good in durability. Does that make sense?
No.
No.
You don't want us any clothes off.